Welcome to Coaches-Clinic.com, and thank you for attending the first in a series of youth basketball coaching clinics we are conducting. Before we get into the agenda of the clinic, I just want to do a brief introduction of myself. My name is Rob Rhodes. I'm based out of Louisville, Kentucky. I'm about ready to enter my 18th season of coaching. I've been coaching exclusively at the 5th and 6th and 7th and 8th grade levels. During my 18 seasons, or actually 17 seasons, I've been able to assist 12 young men to reach their goal playing at high school level. I was blessed or fortunate enough to coach the Kentucky Mr. Basketball 2012 Kentucky Mr. Basketball in his 5th and 6th grade years. And a lot of the material that I'm going to cover and share with you tonight is really what I've learned through trial and error. There's many things that I've learned through other coaches, but most of the material that I'm covering I've learned through trial and error, and I'm hoping to help other coaches avoid some of the pitfalls that I fell into. And then last but not least, I just want to mention that I am one of the original founders of Coaches-Clinic.com. So just a little bit about the agenda is this one I'm going to touch on coaching philosophy and kind of the importance of developing one. Talk about it not being about the X's and the O's, but being about the Jimmys and the Joes. Being the great communicator, so communicating to your parents, keeping them informed and up to date. Talk a little bit about organization and how important that is to your youth basketball team. Uh, Cover some practice execution, as well as game day, handling game day, and touch on some philosophies we have around scouting. So the first thing I want to talk about is something that I failed to do early in my youth basketball coaching career, and that is really developing a coaching philosophy or trying to figure out what I wanted to do. Did I want to be process or outcome focused? In other words, did I want to be focused on winning games or helping my players improve? How was I going to handle playing time? Things like that. Was I going to be a typical coach and play my first five for a majority of the game and only sub when maybe the game was out of hand, and and what was going to be my style of play? And I think these are all kind of important things to think about as you get into coaching youth basketball and get into in coaching your season. So just a little bit about my philosophy, just to kind of help you understand where I'm coming from. I am more process focused, so I'm more about if we're better at the end of the season than we are at the beginning, hey, we've succeeded. There's only so many teams that can win the city or state championship, and I don't want that to be the gauge of our how successful we were. Again, it's where did we improve from the beginning of the season to the end, and if we have, then I feel we've had a successful season. Also, as far as my how I handle playing time, I'm, I believe that if a young man or young woman, for that matter, attends practice and tries to do what we ask, it is incumbent upon me to get them in the game. It's incumbent upon me to try to find places where they can succeed. And I don't mean that doesn't mean that I'm an everybody plays equal time coach. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is I want to have fair play, not equal play, but fair play. Concerning the style of play, again, I want to get all my kids involved. I want to use that as my advantage. So I platoon. So I do a lot of platooning throughout the game. Not so much in the fourth quarter, but for the first three quarters, I typically am. We're doing substitutions every 2 minutes. Because of that, we're fast breaking. I want to attack the basket. I don't want the kids to think a lot. I want to push the ball as much as we can. And with that, I want them to have a first shot mentality. And what I mean by that is if they're open, if they have the ball, they're open, it's within their range. I want them to shoot it. I don't want them to think about it. I want them to shoot it, and then I want us to crash the boards. We do a lot of pressing. Again, it plays into the platoon system. If I'm playing all my 10 kids, then I can press and hopefully wear down the other team over time. And then we're exclusively a man-to-man defense team. So just a little bit about, it's not the X's and O's, it's the Jimmy and the Joes. Just keep in mind, you could be the greatest mind. You could be the greatest mind in basketball since John Wooden, but it does not matter what you know, but what your players know. So it doesn't matter, what great schemes that you can put down on paper. If you cannot teach your kids and you cannot convey it to your kids, it doesn't matter.